Hey guys, it's Drew here and I'm here to make another video today. Today I'm going to show you guys my coffee and reward system. So like last year in COVID, I did spend quite a bit of money on coffee, and I don't really necessarily have a problem with spending money on coffee because I love coffee. Um, I would never give coffee up in my entire life. But I realized a lot of days I was spending upwards of like $10, $12 sometimes, just sort of trying to cope with COVID and stress and anxiety. But it was also really fantastic because like the start of last year and most of this year, I ended up reading quite a lot of books, and I like to pair my coffee and books together because that's one way that I like to decompress. It's also something that I spend quite a large chunk of my subscription money on. So I've been sort of working at combining those both into more affordable ways to do things and more practical ways to do things, and also just more fun ways to do things as well. So yeah, and then I've always lived very close to 7-Eleven. In the past 3 houses that I have lived in, this current house that I have two 7-Elevens that are quite close and quite close to each other as well, which is really nice. So it's probably like a 15-minute walk or whatnot, which is really nice. So part of my system that I wanted to create too was that I wanted to encourage myself to get out a little bit more, because I have definitely suffered from anxiety, social anxiety about going out, because I am like immune sensitive with asthma. It kind of just worried me a little bit, so I have been sort of working at kind of combining habits, which is something I enjoy doing too, like combining things that I know I need to work on or want to change, and sort of making them flow together in a system. So today I'm going to show you my reading copy system. So the foundation, I guess you could say, of them is that I have created these cards, and so I will show you how these work. So I made these on Canva for myself because I like to have visual representations and trackers, and I'm not really too fond of necessarily like habit trackers, but these ones are really fun. And I wanted to do like a kind of loyalty card system because I really love loyalty cards, and I guess they're a part of like the coffee experience as well. So how my system works is that for every book that I read, I get to stamp off one of these little copies, and I do that with just a hole puncher, single hole puncher. And then by the time I reach 10 copies, then I would be able to buy myself one book. And as you can see, I have sort of started using these. It's only been a couple of months and I'm really loving them. And I also made themes. So this one's just like a basic one. Oh, sorry, this one's a Christmas one. This one's my Christmas one. So I need to start marking that off this year. Then I have my horror one, because I read a lot of horror. My research is in horror. I'm a horror writer, so everything that sort of comes under like fiction, but I'm also thinking about doing non-fiction too, because I have to read a lot of non-fiction books for my research project. So there's that one. Then I did one for new authors, because I'm always looking out for new authors, and part of the subscription services that I use really let me do that to a great capacity. And I really wanted to make one so that I could sort of try like new authors next year. I probably will start this one next year, but it's always great to kind of explore new romances, and I read a lot of romance as well, predominantly romance, and a lot of independent authors. I support independent authors over the bigger publishing companies. That's just how I choose to do it. And I'm really excited to like start this one. And then the last one is just a general one. That's the general one I started with. This is what I made first to see if it would work for me, and it definitely did work for me. So what I do with that is I collect my dollars coins or $2 coins that are left over, and I use them to pay for $1 coffees at 7-Eleven. At a stretch, sometimes if I haven't sort of redeemed my points or like the coffee things, I will go and get a $2 coffee, but most of the time it's $1, and I'm really happy with that because I get a walk. It also sort of, you know, makes me feel satisfied that I finished a book, because with ADHD, like reading like 300-page books at this point in my life, just I can't sustain that kind of focus with everything else that's going on. So reading like the shorter books, getting coffee, and just rewarding myself is really great. And they just go into here, which is a cute little cup I got for Christmas one time. Actually, I think it was last year. So it's just a like really tiny like espresso kind of cup, but I really love it, and that's where all my coins go. Oops. So I use those, and what I do is I mostly have coffee at home, so I am going to be picking up some more like I guess you could say jar coffee, because I do like just plain coffee, but most of the time I spend about 12 to 15 per fortnight, which is again much more cheaper, and I drink mocha from Coles, or I might drink Nescafe. There's like 10 sachets there. It lasts me pretty much a fortnight, and like there are a lot of days between when I don't go buy coffee as well. So I wanted to sort of start this year working on the habit of drinking more coffee at home and making it myself. And I do have a travel mug, but I lost the lid for it somewhere. So I'm going to be investing in a new coffee mug as well, because that means if I go for a walk to the park, I can also just take stuff from home as well. I'm not too fussed, and I would like to like keep a lot of these for also social events, which I don't go out too much, but next year it's looking like I'm going to be going out at least once a month, so I can be saving up these as well to get myself 7-Eleven coffee in the city, or if I want to save like a month's worth of coffee stamps, I can do that and then spend it on that. So I do keep track of things in this journal, which I started in October, I think. So it's just a Peter Pauper press, I think it is. Yeah, you can see there. It's just cute. She believed she could, so she did. I just love these. These are my favorite brand of journals. I have so many of these. I think this is the second time of me buying this particular cover as well. And then I just sort of have been marking down the books that I have read. I have some like Kindle reads that are under 250 pages that I'm working on, which is kind of like in unison with my reading as well. And then what's this? I have some Christmas lists that I have, a series that I'm reading through, another series that I'm reading through because I am obsessed with motorcycle romances. Like, give me a motorcycle romance and I'm a happy girl. So that's what I use to like track things at the moment. And then I just have this book, I guess, tracking journal thing that I picked up last year and I did not use at all. So I'm hoping to start it again next year. Oops, sorry. So it's pretty simple. and it's also got some sort of like yearly challenges and then monthly challenges as well. And it sort of recommends you some books that you might want to try in different themes, which is really good, because I also like to read quite widely as well when I can. So there's that. It's by Book Riot, and I'm pretty sure you can find it on Amazon, if not Book Depository as well. So that's what I'm starting off with in 2022. So I wanted to just quickly talk to you guys about what I use, because you will see them in my budgeting planner. So the services that I actually use are predominantly Kindle Unlimited and Scribd. So with Kindle Unlimited, you get America gets 20 books per month. Australia's still behind, so we only get 10. So it's kind of like a loaning service. You get 10 slots, but like you can continually change them. So like most often at the moment I've got the 10 slots full, but I don't always finish the book set in that month, so it just goes over to next month. So it depends on like what kind of reader you are, but I have 2 of those. I have one on my tablet and one on my phone, because I do like to have options, and I do have categories as well. So if you want to at some point see me break down the categories of that, I can do a video on that. And I'm also planning on including like a recap of this, probably in my monthly wrap-ups as well, to see how I've done. And Scribd is a service that has audiobooks, magazines, podcasts, articles, ebooks, pretty much everything you could possibly want, and their selection is huge. I do quite well with that. I love audiobooks as well. I do have an Audible subscription, but I put that on hold because I just wasn't using it very much, considering I also use Scribd and I also use the library services. I have my Google Books account as well, so I have a lot of free books that I am given, or I have found, and I also have a Patreon that I'm supporting with an author called Poppy Parks, who is an independent author, and I pay $5 a month, and I get about 2 to 3 books of hers in advance, so that usually goes onto my Google Play account as well. So I'm like very content with the amount of books that that are available to me, and everything gets paid, and it's a much more affordable way for me to read books, because previously I was spending upwards of like 20 per book, or 15 to 20 per actual book in a bookshop in Australia, because books are quite expensive here, and most of the time they would just sit on my shelves because I have other hobbies and stuff as well. So I wanted to just sort of start going digital to save space, to save money, and it's really changed my reading habits too, because I read a lot more, because there's always books being recommended, and most of the series that I read are like multiple author based series, and most of the books you can get for 99 cents as well, so I'm pretty good with that, and I'm pretty happy with that as a system. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this works and filling out all these cards. Now, in terms of like when I reach the end of this, I'm just going to be putting $10 into a savings fund for like physically buying books at the end of next year. So I don't necessarily think I'm actually going to purchase any books outside of my subscriptions, because I really don't think I'm going to need to. I have at least 2,000 on my Kindle on my tablet, and about 400 on my phone, and I think Google Play is upwards of like 300 too. So like I have plenty of books, even just period, before I start doing anything to read. So but I would like to put the money aside to take to Bath and go to Waterstones. So most likely once I complete that, it's going to go into like a little Waterstones envelope, and that will be my shopping when I am in the UK, because I love Waterstones as well, or whatever bookshop we go to. maybe it might be like Poundland or something. So that is my process. So if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below. If you are a reader, I'd love to know how you read. If you love saving money on books, I'd love to know how you save money on books, and how do you save money on coffee as well? What's your process for coffee? Do you have a particular shop? Do you use gift cards or coupons? Like, how do you enjoy your coffee, and also what do you like to combine your coffee with? Do you like to watch movies? Do you like to game when you drink coffee? Do you like to drink coffee socially? All those kinds of questions, because coffee is life. So thank you guys for watching. I want to thank the wonderful people who have commented on my videos and my 6 subscribers so far as of today. I really appreciate it, and I cannot wait to talk to you all tomorrow.